Before I entered the doors at Luke 15, I was a mess. I was drinking every single day. I had no structure in my life. And the last 3 months before I came here, it's the worst it's ever been. It started in October. I was living in Calgary, Alberta. I was there 6 months, and I finally had some stability. Things were looking up. I will state, I am a Christian, so Jesus Christ is very important in my life. I was very involved with the church out there, with groups, and that helped me a lot spiritually. As time went on, I was keeping in touch with my 2 daughters and decided to visit them in Saskatchewan. In early September, I visited them, and things were amazing. Things were finally coming together. I went back to work, but I started to hurt because I missed my children. I wanted them in my life more and more, and I started to feel the loss. And I felt it more and more as the weeks grew. I saved up some money and decided to move back to Regina, Saskatchewan. Realizing that I had quit my job, lost my place to stay because I put in my notice. There was no turning back, and I had committed myself to go. And because of the change, I had grown a fear. And with that fear, I turned to what comforts me the best, alcohol, and started drinking heavily. I still am trying to understand why it is that I drink. I know because of change and fear and asking myself and confusing myself, I will always think I'm making the wrong choice or always doubting myself. The drinking lasted a long week, and I flew to Saskatchewan with all I had. Upon arrival, I called to let my ex-girlfriend know that I was in Saskatchewan. She later informed me that night that she has endometriosis, and she was very sick, needing operations. I knew God was in this picture, letting me know I'm home and it's okay. I need to help now with my oldest daughter. The next day, I purchased a vehicle and I got a line job done in a welding shop. Things were amazing. I was finally able to be the father I needed to be, supporting her the best that I could. I was spending nearly every day with Vanessa. My life couldn't get much better. I received a raise shortly after I started my job. I was very reliable and dependable. My youngest daughter's mother, Krista, started calling me. She wanted me to come visit. I decided to take my oldest daughter, Vanessa, with me. That weekend, to see her, little sister Kyra, I knew I was going to drink that day. Krista had already had the bottle of my choice drink, vodka. I had some drinks that weekend, quite a bit. I had convinced myself I had it under control. And within a short time, I was driving myself to her place a couple times a week. I was lusting for her, and I broke my word with God. I felt like I was falling into my old ways again, and knew that it was only a matter of time. Shortly later, my car broke down, preventing me from seeing my youngest daughter. I still found a way, and I took the bus to her place. Shortly later, from my drinking, I had lost my job. Through all of it, I blamed God. I had lost my place of residence, and I started drinking every day. I called my mother, and she got me a bus ticket the next day. 30 hours later, I had arrived in Langley. I got a cab and headed right to the nearest liquor store. I told my sister I had no taxi fare, and she paid it for me. I met my nieces, but my frequent bathroom visits, my sister figured I was drinking. My mother picked me up around 5. I don't remember anything after that day. I would get up around 7 o'clock in the morning. I would wait until 9:30 a.m. and head to the nearest liquor store. I would go for walks in the park and drink by myself, praying to God, crying to Him to please help me. I lived my life like this for 2 weeks. I completely convinced myself I was ready to quit. I talked to my oldest daughter and my ex-girlfriend. They supported me 100%. And even that wasn't enough for me. And within a few days later, I was drinking again. I realize now that I'm completely powerless over my alcoholism. And I can't even trust myself to quit. I've hurt everyone around me, but I feel mostly myself. I dislike myself at times, but making this step here, I realize that I love myself. I do not want to die, I want to live. I want to get better for myself, so I can learn to love myself, God, and my 2 beautiful little girls.